Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Victor Akunna. All right, my wife and myself run Foundation for Family Affairs, a ministry that is focused on building families and strength in connecting heart and building families, okay? Our main purpose is to help couples become examples that can be copied into society. All right, so if you're with me on this live video, please leave a, let me know, give me a shout out, let me know you are there with me so I can carry on. All right, so what I'd like to discuss today, someone asked a question. Why do some men stop being romantic after marriage? Why do some men stop being romantic after marriage? All right, let me hear what you have to say. If you have anything comment about that, leave it in the comment section below. Why do some men stop being romantic after marriage? All right, someone asked me this question. I'd like to answer it briefly. So I'd like to hear what you have to say. Why do you think that some men stop being romantic after marriage? So if you have anything to say, I'd like you to leave it in the comment section below. Let me just give you a brief. I'm in a park in a very quiet, serene environment. All right. Oh, thank you for joining me. All right. So I'll just start with the topic. Why do some men stop being romantic? Now, I said some men because it's not every man that stopped being romantic. It's not every man that stopped being romantic. Some people, some men, take the romantic moves to the next level and they just, keep improving it from time to time. However, some men don't. All right, I've had a lot of people who spoke to me saying, you know what, my husband used to chase me down, used to write a lot of poems when we were dating, would always pick me up from work, always text me, checked up on me, it just made my life amazing, But after marriage, I don't know what changed. It was something I did. Oh, poor understanding. Thank you so much, ma'am. Poor understanding of maintenance cost. Wow, amazing. So one of the reasons why men stop being romantic after marriage is what Pastor Mobola just said now. The lack of understanding of maintenance culture. All right, because sometimes people think about, for example, when somebody wants to buy a car, the first thing they think about is buying the car. They don't think about fuel. They don't think about servicing. They don't think about all the other costs, parking. They don't think about all that. It's when they now buy the car, I need to spend money to maintain. I need to do insurance. I need to do this. I need to do that. So they begin to think about all those things, which they didn't think about when they were planning to get married or when they were planning to buy a car. So that's one very good example. Lack of good communication. Bossede, thank you so much. Lack of good communication, because I think that comes in when people don't express what when the wife do not express what he or she expects the husband to do. All right, because sometimes women, some of our wives may expect men to read their minds. If she really loves me, he should know what I need. It doesn't always work like that. Sometimes people need to be reminded. Sometimes people need to be told. All right, let me just quickly look at some of the points I have here. All right. Sometimes they see marriage as a target, something that they've accomplished. Now they've done this. Okay, sometimes most men see marriage as a project. The moment they accomplish it, they need to move to the next item. Okay, tick. Now we need to think about mortgage. Now I need to think about getting a bigger house. Now I need to move my career to the next level. And by the time they preoccupy themselves with all these issues of life, at the end of the day, it happens that they are unable to do what they need to do to remain romantic in the relationship. They don't know if we're aware. So at the end of the day, the discussions they have on a daily basis, children's school fees, are these children okay? These are some of the things that often happen. Pastor Mobola has also said something. Sometimes they are overwhelmed by the day-to-day challenges and responsibilities. And when people are living in a survival mode on a daily basis, it's natural. It's expected for them to take their eyes away from the ball. You just think, you know what? I'm going to make it up to her. I'm going to make it up to her. But that time never comes because they are constantly in a survival mode. Ijoma Mela, my very good friend, said, too much expectation. Wow. Sometimes some women may have a lot of expectation on the man. You know what? I expect my husband to do this. Oh, my friend's husband is doing this for her, taking her to Dubai twice a year. You know what? you need to consider your own man, the uniqueness of your own man. No two men are the same, all right? You need to consider your own marriage and don't put that pressure on him. Another point why sometimes men stop being romantic is because they think romance is for newlyweds, okay? They just feel, you know what? I'm not into this romance stuff. It's for newlywed, all right? I will just stop all this, we are now 5 years in marriage, all right? So another thing is that some people think that romance is for newlywed. You know what? It's for the people in the honeymoon stage of marriage. They just, that's when they have to hold hands, love. But the moment you get past that, you need to get down to serious business, in quotes. But it's not true. It's not true. Romance is not for newlywed. For example, let me quickly chip in here, because sometimes the word romance has been defined by different people. People think romance is sex. People think romance is, this feeling of Jim feeling, We define romance as the little but consistent things you do on a daily basis in the pursuit of your wife's heart, attention, and happiness. I'll say that again. The little but consistent things we do on a daily basis, okay, in the pursuit of your wife's heart, attention, and happiness. It's something that we do on a regular basis. So romance is not something that you do out of the blue. It's something you do in the pursuit of your wife's heart, attention, and happiness. That's what we define romance as. If you look at this definition, you see that everybody can be romantic if they decide to. Sometimes men stop being romantic after marriage because they think romance is for newlywed. It's not for us. We are 5 years in marriage. We are 10 years in marriage. We are 15 years in marriage. I want you to think about romance as the oil that lubricates the wheel of your marriage. The little but consistent thing you do on a regular basis that makes your wife happy. That in the pursuit of her heart, attention, and makes her happy. That's a very good thing. All right. Another reason why men stop being romantic after marriage is that they think romance is expensive. Oh, you know what? And if I want to do anything for my wife, I have to spend this amount of money. I need to spend this amount of pounds. I need to take her out shopping. I need to take her to this place. To be honest with you, romance should be the best way to handle this is to start from where you are. You know what? You don't need to do what the Joneses are doing. You are different. Start from where you are at. If what you can afford right now is Netflix, make the most use of it. All right? Buy popcorn, make your sitting room like a theater where you can view movies and have a blast, have a nice time. All right? That's one good. I know some couple, for example, they can't afford to travel, so they do to go on vacation. So they do what is called staycation. Staycation is where you just take a specific time and go. You don't have to travel out. You go to a certain space, in the same environment where you live, and create a camp or do something that will help you enjoy. Just create a feel of vacation. It's called staycation. You stay on the same spot, however, but you are having that quiet time. It's about the quality of the time, not about where you go. Some people go and travel abroad and do stuff. At the end of the day, they quarrel all through. It's not quality time. So it's about the time and the quality of the enjoyment that you invest into the time you spend together. That's what it's about. Another reason why I think people think some men stop being romantic after marriage is that they think that romance is only for those who marry their soulmates. Because they think that when they marry their soulmates, romance will be automatic. In life, nothing is automatic. I learned something from Bishop Oedekwe. He said that if you see anything working anywhere, people are working it out. Nothing happens automatic. All right. Even a pilot, when they are on autopilot, or the cruise control, it's not something that is advised over a period of time. After a while, they need to go off cruise control and take charge. Otherwise, if there is an emergency, people's lives can be lost. So, whether you married your soulmate or not, whoever you married, make the person your soulmate. Nothing is automatic. You need to invest time in it. Anything that you see that is working anywhere, if you see an organized society, people are working it out. People are building it. People are making it what it is. That's another reason why some men stop being romantic, because they think that if it's I married my soulmate, it should be automatic. Nothing is automatic. You need to take charge of it. The final point I would like to bring here is romance is something you do on Valentine's Day. No. So sometimes over here, you see on the Valentine's Day, on February 14th, you see the mall are often packed full. People buying cards, buying all kind of stuff, trying to make it up to their spouses. That's very good. But think about your marriage like a plant. You don't water your plant once every February 14th. You have to water it every day. You have to nurture it every day. You need to expose it to sunlight. You need to make it thrive. That's what you have to do on a daily basis. So romance is not something you live. Your marriage is not something you can live just like that. Think of it like a garden. You have to water. You have to nurture it. Even our relationship with God on a daily basis. If you don't nurture it, if you don't feed your soul, if you don't grow in the Word, after a while you feel disconnected. You feel distant from God. That's what happens. The same thing that happens in relationship. In your marriage, most especially, you have to invest that time. Now, since these are some of the things that men think that makes them to stop being romantic after marriage, so what are they supposed to do? The first thing I like to recommend is what I do. Study your spouse. All right, there are a lot of books out there that says a lot of needs of men and women. Very good. However, a lot of them write on a generic level, but you need to study your own spouse. You need to study your own spouse, all right? When I got married, I had a lot of people advising me on a number of things. Women like this, women like that, women like this is what you have to do. My head was full. But one thing I decided to do is to study my own wife, the woman I'm married to. I needed to understand that. That's the only way. It's like trying to hit a target. You cannot hit a target you don't understand or you can't see. You need to study. So I had to study my wife, and I understood, what makes my wife happy. And after that, my goal became to constantly look for a way to put a smile on her face. If you have it at the back of your mind, I want this woman to constantly smile. All you have to do is to study what makes her smile and keep doing those things. For example, my wife likes a very tidy environment. I make sure that the environment is tidy. So the moment she comes back from work, because most time because of the job I do, I come back before her. I make sure that everywhere is tidy and spark. So she just comes back. She doesn't have to do anything. She doesn't have to do anything at all. That's one of the things. Another thing I like that my wife likes conversation. So my natural self, I'm introverted. But most people don't believe that, but I'm introverted. So I learn to talk, not just give you headlines. Oh, how was your day? Fine. No, I don't give monosyllable. I have to tell her the detail because she needs to know the detail. That's how she feels connected to me. All right. So that quality time, she enjoys it. We go shopping together. We do bathing together. We do a number of things together. That's how that's one of the things that makes her happy. And I do that on a daily basis. I make sure our phones are charged, Just do the little things. It doesn't have to be one big thing, buy one massive gift or buy one massive dress. You know what? Women are not that complicated, to be honest with you. It's just a lot of stuff that we heard from our culture. Women are this, women are stuff. All those stuff. Forget about all those stuff you've heard. Someone says that the literate person of the future is someone who can unlearn what he has learned, relearn and learn. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. So everything you've heard about women, anything that is not helping you, if it's a mindset or a belief system that is not strengthening your marriage, you need to unlearn it and study your wife and understand the unique woman that God has given to you, because God has given you the grace to marry the woman you've been given to. Okay? So specialize. Don't just look on a general basis. Don't just read a book and say women like flowers. Your wife may not like flowers. My wife doesn't like flowers. She appreciates them, but it doesn't make her go ooh or raise her leg up or those kind of stuff. No. Study your wife and then find out what makes her unique, okay? And do those things. Second thing is that so what I'm trying to say is that romance must be customized. It must be customized to your wife. So what will work for Mrs. A may not work for Mrs. B because their needs are different. Second thing I've noticed is that the need of a woman varies from different phases of her life. Your wife's need when you just got married may change 5 years after. All right, it depends on the phase of life. All right, my wife is in a different phase of life where she's much busier than she used to be. Now I have to step my game. All right, so what I do is that I anticipate the needs I anticipate her needs before they arise. Yes, I anticipate. So you just hear her say, "Oh, thank you. Oh, God bless you. Oh, she doesn't even have to ask, because romance is sweeter when she doesn't have to ask for it, and you do it without her having to ask for it. That's what makes it unique. That's what makes it amazing. Not when she asks. If she has to remind you about your wedding anniversary, there is no longer fun. You've taken the fun out of it. It's about you anticipating her needs before they arise, and then meeting her needs. So that's one point. The second point I'd like to quickly, you have to be consistent. All right? I think I believe in daily Valentine. Whatever you want to do on that February 14th day, that amazing thing you want to do, find a way to make it on a daily basis. All right? Break it down into chunks. All right? Remember I said anything that makes her happy, that connects with her. Oh, thanks you, my friend. It's important to find your spouse love language exactly in regard. All right, thank you. There's a book by Dr. Gary Chapman that wrote about 5 love languages. It's very important you find her love language and do that, okay? Thank you so much for pointing out a very important contribution, all right? So when you know when you are consistent with something, don't just do one thing. She said, wow, my husband is changing. Then the next thing, you revert to your old default mode. Upgrade yourself. From Victor 1.1 to Victor 2.0, 3.0, upgrade your romantic skills. All right? That's what, make it consistent. The third point I'd like to mention is that constantly upgrade it. Don't remain on the same level. All right? Don't make her, when you get to that point where she can anticipate what you are going to do, it's no longer a surprise. One of the benefits of it is the surprise package. Anticipate what she's going to need before it arises and meet them. All right? So I'd like you to share this. If this has been of benefit to you, I want you to share it on your wall, share it to your friends, let them see it at the same time. God bless you. All right, so final point I'd like to make on this is this. You need to have a romance and intimacy development plan. You need to have a romance and intimacy improvement plan, okay, or development plan, whichever one. Both of them mean the same thing. In other words, a specific plan you can follow to improve your marriage. Anything that is left to chance often decays. If you leave a house unattended to, if you come back to it, it will have decayed. Everything becomes rusty. Why? Because anything that is abandoned decays. That's how it happens. If you neglect your wife, neglect your marriage, if you're not romantic, remember I said romance is the little but consistent things you do on a daily basis to connect with your heart, with your wife's heart, to get her attention and to make her happy. All right? So make it consistent. 1, study your wife, make it consistent. Again, I say that again. Develop a romance improvement plan so that you have something. I know what, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Don't leave it to chance that when you remember, you might not remember because of the day-to-day activity. Okay? That is very, very important. Now, for you to learn what's a romance improvement plan, it's a plan that will help you move from where you are in your marriage to where you want to be, working alone or working with your spouse.